Horse and Cattle Ranch located in Bellevue, Texas. We're more than just a dealership, we're family.
Come get their vaccines while you're here.
The location joins the clinic's full-service veterinary hospital on Central Freeway. Walk-ins at this new location will be accepted Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and on every third Saturday of each month. The walk-in clinic will be available from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. A local organization all about encouraging veterans to get outdoors and find community hosts their first ever poker event this afternoon.
USA Vet Adventures was created just this year with the mission to encourage veterans to get outdoors with no expenses to them. During Memorial Day, founder of the organization, Richard Boynton, says he was fishing with another veteran and decided to launch USA Vet Adventures that day to help other veterans find community.
And with this poker tournament fundraiser, USA Vet Adventures is one step closer to providing even more veterans with outdoor trips. 25% of the profits from the tournament will go towards the organization. The event also offered raffle prizes and free food. Boynton says he plans on hosting more fundraisers throughout the year and would like to make the poker tournament an annual event.
It was a lot of fun. Looked a lot of fun. There was a lot of people there.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. Poker. Yay. Well, stick around. John's full forecast is coming up next.
And later, Cars for Fallen Donor takes a look at high school volleyball tournaments from across Texoma. Stay with us.
An accident with a company car, truck, SUV, van, or fleet vehicle is not just another car accident. Thomas J. Henry has a team of skilled company vehicle accident attorneys ready to fight for you. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Left and right, standing next to each other to be reasonable. Thank you.
Chris Cuomo, part of America's new prime time. See for yourself why News Nation is the fastest growing network in all of television. News Nation.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws alone cannot stop bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
I worry for my kids.
When you become a Hill Insider, you get exclusive access to members-only briefings on what's driving coverage. See what else you unlock when you become an insider. The brand new all-access digital subscription from the Hill. Join today.
Are you okay?
I guess, I appreciate you listening.
I feel sometimes if
listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundidouttogether.org.
U.S. Now from KFDX3, Texoma's Weather Authority with John Cameron.
Good evening, everyone. Hope your weekend is going well so far. Well, things aren't going to change too much over the coming days. If anything, our high temperatures may grow hotter early next week. We'll have more on that in just a moment. 92 degrees here at the 10 o'clock hour. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies across the region. Officially at Shepherd Air Force Base, 105 degrees, well above average for this time of the year. Now, the good news is when you look at our climatology, our weather history, this number, that average high, is going down as we make our way toward September. But of course, that has no bearing on the forecast. If anything, our temperatures are going up at least a little bit. Our record high for the state is 96 years old, back in 1930. On this day, we made it to 109 degrees. I'll check the scoreboard real quick. So far this year, 30 triple-digit days average. That's an average summer. The 7-day forecast says we're going to have an above-average summer, and things don't look to change anytime soon. We have more than doubled our total from last year. 2025, a total of 13 triple-digit days, but we exchanged triple-digit days for humidity. Last summer was a far more humid summer in the wake of a wet spring. But we compared this year and last to one of our hottest summers in recent history. We talk about 2011. Many of us are trying to work those memories out of our head, but by August 15th, we had 79 triple-digit days. We would add 21 more for an even 100. All right, if there's good news in the forecast, looks like the winds aren't going to be terribly strong over the coming days with drought conditions in place and the extreme heat. When we have a windy day with winds 15, 20, 25, that means that wildfire danger really goes up. Wichita Falls, one of the hottest cities in our nation today, just 2 degrees cooler than Phoenix, and 103 in Little Rock sounds disgusting. If you ask my opinion, because you know it's more humid in Little Rock and Shreveport compared to Wichita Falls. All right, there is a cold front that has made it to the panhandles and across Kansas. You can see it's triggered some showers and thunderstorms. That looks like good stuff, and you know that cold fronts tend to sag southward, but this is not a January, February type cold front. This is one that's not going to sag that far south. But as we get into tomorrow, it could find its way to the I-40 corridor. That means that places like Oklahoma City could see a stray shower. The Futurecast tries to bring some showers into the Quanah, Altus, Wichita Mountains area, but that would be a very optimistic forecast for sure. Looks like a lot in Wichita Falls, Graham. The chances for rain are slim to none. But Oklahoma City, Pampa, Amarillo could get in on some stray showers tomorrow. For us tonight, temperatures fall to the upper 70s, south winds at 10 to 15, mostly sunny, 105 tomorrow, with southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and very little in the way of change. If anything, we're hotter Tuesday into Wednesday with highs near 108, morning lows in the 70s for the next 7 days.
Welcome to KFDX Plus, KFDX's free streaming app, brought to you by Tri-Key Auto Ranch, a working horse and cattle ranch located in Bellevue, Texas. We're more than just a dealership, we're family.
When the stakes are high, results matter. At Thomas J. Henry Injury Attorneys, results are earned through preparation, focus, and drive. This isn't about one win. It's about showing up when it matters most. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
What's up? You know, I just been kind of just bottling it all up. Kind of glad you came.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
Vaping today.
Now, sports with Parker Hollandoner from the OSTC Sports Desk, your complete orthopedic team.
Oh my goodness, what a way to kick off the school year. It's been a great couple of days of volleyball tournaments. Let's jump right in. We begin tonight in Burke-Burnett, day 2 of the annual Cool in Boomtown tournament. Bracket play started this morning until just 4 teams remained in the gold bracket. Let's start on court 2, Memorial and the Mavericks taking on Whitesboro. We're going to jump in right in the first set. Taylor Davis bump. Lizzie Nguyen finds an open spot for the dump kill. 2-2 tie very early in that first set. Over, Joy Harvey sets Landry Love, spikes the center of the Whitesboro side for the kill. 12-10, Whitesboro with a slight lead. Love denies a Lady Cats attack. McCaden Burkhead slams one to the far corner, and the Mavs take the point. Still 15-13, Whitesboro by 2. Whitesboro shot sneaks through the blocks. Lily Dishman digs it out. Savannah McClure with the quick flip, and the Mavs take the first set 25-21, and Memorial gets the semifinal win. They advance to the championship over Whitesboro 25-21, 25-17. All right, the other semifinal match over on court 1, Herald taking on Altus. Paratexoma teams here, the 7th-ranked Lady Hornets. Jumping in the second set, Herald won the first. Aubrey Albaneda high set. Presley Enlow flips it over to the sideline for the dump kill. Herald with match point here. Olivia Williams, though, sets Capri Craddock for the kill. Altus ties it up at 25 apiece. You got to win by 2. Lila Bond serves up an ace, and Altus forces set 3, 27-25. Now in set 3, it's 24-23. Herald with match point here. Altus serves. Zaylee Corona with a great reception. Presley Patton, massive hit. Herald on to the final. They defeat Altus by a final 25-18, 25-27, 25-23. Presley Patton had 29 kills in that match. All right, before we can get to the championship, here's how some other teams fared in Boomtown. Vernon went 3-3 over the whole tournament. Kaylee Straight with 37 total kills. City View 3-3 as well. Natalie Klein with 110 assists. Burke-Burnett and Northside, these are only their day 2 stats, went 1-1 and 1-2 respectively. And Graham went 5-2. Undefeated today to win the silver bracket. Graham also wins the Tony Silva Award for sportsmanship. All right, I've made you wait long enough. Let's jump into the championship game. 7th-ranked Lady Hornets taking on the Mavericks 1A versus 5A to take it all in Boomtown. First set, Aubrey Albaneda sets Presley Patton, and that drops for the kill. 15-11 Herald. Margaret Kennedy with that massive block there in order to take the point. It was 21-13. Herald absolutely took off in the first set. They won it. Now in the second, Jay Harvey sets Landry Love. Contact and down for the kill. Memorial up 9-5. Now Lizzie Nguyen sets Ava Grizel. Backline kill 18-11. Memorial takes a bit of a lead. Emery King with an outstanding dig here. And Patton tips it over and it drops. Herald comes all the way back, 23-22 in favor of Memorial. Emmy King had 35 assists, but then McCaden Burkhead was on the block to win the set for the Mavs. Now in the third set, Lizzie Nguyen, you just saw setting McCaden Burkhead with the booming kill right there. 16-9 in favor of the Mavericks, and they start to pull away here. Nguyen sets Landry Love off the block and down all the way. Mavs get rolling and dominate the third set. Memorial takes down Herald for the championship, 19-25, 25-22, 25-16. All right, it's time for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have more from other tournaments around Texas, as well as your Cowboys update. Stick around.
For more than 3 decades, Texans have trusted Thomas J. Henry when it mattered most. That trust created more than legal victories. It created real impact. More than $200 million of economic impact went to our community. It fueled local business. It strengthened families. When we're able to do more, we give more, supporting food banks, schools, and organizations. This is shared success. Thomas J. Henry. When we win, you win.
I'm worried about Mom.
Mom? She's fine. These the ones, right, Mom?
Yeah, groundlings.
Sweet potatoes.
Daddy, it's salty.
Some things come with age.
And some don't.
Early detection of Alzheimer's can lead to better care for your loved one. Learn the early warning signs at 10signs.org.
This is a place for the full picture.
Jesse Weber, part of America's new prime time. See for yourself why News Nation is the fastest growing network in all of television. News Nation. News for all Americans.
forward. Don't drive distracted.
Little bit of love inside of you.
There are moments in life when we don't act based on who someone loves, where they're from, or what they believe. Because the things that make us different will never change what makes us human.
As a medic, Sergeant First Class, E7. I went in the first waves, and when I came back, I didn't come back the same way as I left.
I was in 11 Bravo, it's infantry. Deploying is what we signed up to do. Fighting wars, protecting civilians back home. I never got to do that, so I still feel weird around the title of veteran.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say? It takes courage to say I need help, and you realize you're not alone. You deserve because you served. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Now, sports from the OSTC Sports Desk, your complete orthopedic team.
All right, we're back. We've got more high school volleyball tournaments. We're going back where it all began. Tournament season kicked off back on Thursday with pool play of the Alney Spike Fest tournament. So today, teams returned for bracket play, battling it out until, once again, it came down to a championship. Let's jump right in. It is Alney taking on Millsap for the championship. Kinley Lauderdale sets up Natalie Simmons, and we're underway in Alney. They've got home court advantage to the Lady Cubs. Not a replay. It's Lauderdale to Simmons once again. And then still not a replay. We're going to see Lauderdale to Simmons. Simmons an absolute laser to that back corner. An 8-2 start for the Lady Cubs. They get it rolling early. For the sake of variety, how about Lauderdale this time going to Angel Turner off the blocker and down for the point. And finally, as the Lady Cubs continue to cook, Taylor Cadott sets up Lauderdale. After all those assists, Lauderdale with a kill of her own as Alney rolls to defeat Millsap. Lady Cubs championships of their own tournament, 25-13, 25-21. Out to Benjamin now, championship game of the Marlboro Man Memorial Tournament. Newcastle taking on Electra. Falling backwards, Kamori Segler gets the Lady Tigers on the board first. But then Lady Cats responding in a big way. Maya Newland to Kinsley Sweat with a little love tap there. Makes it 6-1 in favor of the Lady Cats. Cameron Mallory to Grayson Nunez right down the middle. Picks up that kill for Newcastle. And then it's going to be Mallory to Nunez again. A lot of replays tonight, but not quite. 9 unanswered points for Newcastle off of this kill. Mallory now going to be up to serve as Newcastle really getting the ball rolling, so to speak, and literally. With a service ace makes it 11 straight points. Newcastle takes down Electra to win the whole shebang, 25-23, 25-16. Over in Abilene, Windthorst with a solid result in the Bev Ball tournament. They lost against Jim Ned, won against Brownwood, and lost against Abilene. Heidi Tackett totaling 26 assists. And over in Brock, Nakona 0-2 today with losses against Fort Worth Christian and Brock. Cy Parker, though, with 19 kills, names to the all-tournament team.
This Silver Star Nation Training Camp report on KFDX is brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau. Charlie Morris.
For the first time in franchise history last year, the Cowboys had 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers in the same season. And the Cowboys realize having George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb is a huge benefit going forward in 2026.
I want to win. I want to win. I want to stay healthy, and I want to dominate the year. Whatever that looks like, whatever the numbers look like, that's cool. But as for me, I want to dominate. That's what I want to do. That's my contract to myself.
CeeDee Lamb, a 4-time Pro Bowler, knows there's more to accomplish. Join us again tomorrow on Cowboys Daily for details on the Cowboys' first preseason game against Seattle.
The original, the first, a light beer brewed to taste like beer. There's nothing like it. Legendary taste, only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
No, I'm not going.
Oh, yes. Say yes. Why not? Sleep when you're my age. Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Welcome to KFDX Plus, KFDX's free streaming app, brought to you by Tri-Key Auto Ranch, a working horse and cattle ranch located in Bellevue, Texas. We're more than just a dealership, we're family.
Some people chase victory. Others build it. Hour by hour, punch by punch. Not for the spotlight, but for the standard. That's the difference between talent and legacy. Between showing up and showing out. Thomas J. Henry, built to fight.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I respond to.
Communities must step up.
Laws alone cannot.
I worry for my kids.
All Americans.
All right, for tomorrow, it's going to be like today was. We're in the mid-upper 90s.
Wait, can I guess?
This is no joke. This is not a joke.
Is it hot?
105, a little bit, maybe even hotter. Tuesday and Wednesday, so there's that.
Oh, no.
Yep. Look at Wednesday. Oh, and Tuesday. Oh, wait, we said that at the same time. Twinsies. All right, well, thank you, John. And thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 5.
Doctors you trust.
Winning cases is only part of the story. What our clients talk about isn't just the result, it's how they were treated along the way. At Thomas J. Henry Injury Attorneys, we treat every case like it matters, because that's our standard. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alicia Nieves in for Blake Berman. Breaking tonight, parts of the Midwest, have you seen this? Buried beneath the waters.
This is nuts. It is howling.
Damaging wind and rain still pounding the region. Indiana hit the worst. Some communities there already under several feet of water, with thousands facing sweeping power outages across the state. And at this hour, there are still desperate recovery efforts that are underway. Also this evening, the stalemate that steepens, Iran now threatening to duke it out with the U.S. for years through Trump's entire term. This is thousands of American sailors have been at sea for a record-setting more than 240 days. New reports are alleging that weary service members are jumping overboard. Is America's fighting force feeling the stalemate strain? And a Texas team of U.S. immigration enforcers, they're carrying out this coordinated exercise with the Mexican military as America singles out a new threat just beyond our borders. NewsNation on the ground in the Lone Star State this evening. Plus this, prompt and circumstances. Students leading the legislative charge on a way to bring AI into the classroom successfully. The fight over the future of the technology this evening. But first, we begin with that recovery and the coming storms. At this hour, another round of wind and torrential rain hitting Indiana after the state's worst flooding event ever.
My house is flooded and my basement's flooded and it's coming up to the surface, to the main floor.
Along with the people there, officials and first responders just working to pick up the pieces as families are left without homes, entire communities facing paralyzing power outages, and buildings taking on overwhelming floodwaters. Indiana's Governor Mike Braun declaring a statewide disaster emergency and saying today the storms battering his state aren't over yet.
That is more rain that you're going to get in probably 100 years. The only blessing is that it was in a flat topography. If that comes down in hills and valleys, then you've got mass destruction.
Our Marnie Hughes is in eastern Indiana tonight, where floodwaters are expected to rise. They've already torn through communities like the one you're in, Marnie. I mean, you've been on the ground. I know you've been kind of trying to get from point A to point B, and it's been tough. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it's widespread, but it is pockets of communities, Alicia, that have been hit. I'm in Cambridge City, Indiana, which is in Wayne County, and we've got 3 communities that I'm really keeping an eye on right now because there is some thunder in the distance and the storm clouds are starting to roll in. One is Cambridge City, where we are. Also, where I was earlier this afternoon, which is Delaware County, Muncie, and then south of us here, it's Connorsville, which has been really hard hit, and we're going to show you that in just a moment. But first of all, where I'm standing right now, less than 24 hours ago, the water would have been above my head. You can see the water line on the side of the First Baptist Church. Look at the force of this water, how it picked up all this concrete and these slabs. Over here, you can see how it uprooted this bush. And then I was just looking around, Alicia, in the bush. There's a pair of sandals, like kids' flip-flops. So the water and the current from the Whitewater River, which is just over here down the street from us, basically pushed this water more than 10 feet high and ran it all the way down Main Street. So over here, you can see this is just one of the houses that has been damaged. Everybody's accounted for in this house, but it's like every other house and business on this street. They've got generators and they've got pumps trying to get the water out. The front porch, the water was about 2 to 3 feet high, so you can see all the debris that's right along the rail of these folks' front porch. Now, to the south of us, I mentioned Connorsville. They have been really hard hit as well in the last 24 hours. The situation with Connorsville, the Whitewater River basically splits this town in 2. You've got the east side and the west side. The east side saw severe flooding and the water has not yet receded there. The water has gone down a little bit in the west side, and we spoke with the Connorsville mayor earlier today as folks pick up the pieces, get ready for round 2, and really try to assess what they just went through.
People's livelihoods are gone. Fortunately, no one's hurt. There's no deaths. Buildings can be replaced. Memories are hard to replace, but bodies can't be replaced. So we're very grateful and thankful for that.
So in addition to the cleanup today, we have some video of rescue that happened overnight in Connorsville. Also, those same rescues were happening by boat and canoe here in Cambridge City, going house to house to make sure that everybody was accounted for. That includes people and pets. As far as Connorsville goes, all this excitement and certainly a scare. In addition to that, they had this National Guard helicopter that, as it came back from a rescue mission, hit a fueling tank. And the mayor says, by the grace of God, it didn't explode and everyone is okay and accounted for. That, by the way, is the last flight for that helicopter that you see there. Speaking of helicopters, there was a National Guard helicopter above Delaware County and the Mississinawa River, which is where I was about an hour ago. Sadly, 4 teenage boys jumped off of a steel bridge over the river about 7:30 last night. They probably underestimated the current. The water level wasn't as high as it is now. They jumped in. 3 were able to make it to shore, but a 4th sadly was not. The rescue for him has been suspended right now because of the strong current in that river. They've got the chopper above and they're using drones, but it is just too dangerous to put any boats in the water. Back out here live in Cambridge City, round 2 is on its way. So that's the real concern, Alicia, because the floodwaters came in fast and they did a lot of damage all the way down Main Street. Homes and businesses are pumping out the water. We're here standing by getting ready for that. We'll come back to you in a little while. Back to you in New York.
Yeah, Marnie, just such important context there. Our thoughts, obviously with this 18-year-old who's still missing at this hour. And I think you put it well, in terms of understanding what happened there. That water would have been right around your head or possibly a little bit higher, at the peak of things there. Just to give our viewers a little bit more context, I want to put up this post from the National Weather Service that shows perspective here. It says the region's office only has ever issued 14 considerable flash flood warnings. And yesterday, it did more than double that. Just again, the further context, how historic this storm is. We know that more rainfall is coming. Marnie, I'm just curious, have you spoken to anyone there about the upcoming rainfall and what they're doing, given the damage they've already seen in that potential rain, adding insult to injury?
To be honest, Alicia, I think people are in shock. I talked to the mayor of Connorsville. I talked to the sheriff of Delaware County. He said they're taking it moment by moment. The focus right now is just making sure everybody is safe and accounted for and prepare as best they can. The evacuation orders stay in place, so don't come back to your community if you haven't been cleared to do so, because those water levels could still rise. But honestly, I think they're just taking this hour by hour.
Yeah, shock seems to be appropriate given the historic nature of this flooding. Marnie Hughes for us there. Thank you so much. Joining me now is Yorktown, Indiana's town manager, Chase Bruton, where the town is expecting water levels to continue to rise with the potential for 3 to 5 inches of additional rain from another round of flash flooding in the central part of the state. You're about an hour north of where Marnie is at right now. From what you've been able to see, what are things like? How bad is the damage where you're at?
So we experienced quite a bit of flash flooding yesterday. When it started to occur, school was in session. The school decided to let out early. When all of that started to occur, it came on a lot quicker than anyone would be able to comprehend. Within a matter of hours, we had people that went from watching the rain, and watching the river, which normally does rise, to evacuating homes. And so we had all hands on deck, and we're planning on the same thing tonight with more rain coming.
We understand that search and rescue operations are underway. What has that response been like?
So I've been boots on the ground all of today, but we have not had any loss of life, which is very fortunate. We're very thankful for that. But we are using all town staff to help people wherever we can. A good example is my parks director was helping a lady clear out her house today, and she had a half a cow in a freezer. And it kind of goes to show the type of community we are. We had neighbors out helping neighbors, and just all staff on hand helping people move furniture and try to get to the high ground.
As you're preparing for this next round of rain, does your community have what it needs to respond to this storm? Because a lot of the reports that I have been seeing, and certainly here on News Nation, a lot of people that we have been talking to, they have said that most of these areas aren't flood prone and certainly haven't seen this level of flooding. So you kind of think, do you have the equipment on hand to deal with something like this that has been historic and unprecedented?
We've handled this very well on our end. Our area has historically flooded. Our large park in the middle of town, where the White River converges with Buck Creek, historically does flood, and we are used to that kind of operation of it flooding. It has never crested the road there, which essentially cut our community in half. One of our major ways of us getting across the river, the White River there, is completely blocked off now. So we are having to circumnavigate one of our bridges for emergency responses.
Yeah, I know where you're at is it's a pretty small town. I think the population is less than 20,000 people. How is the community coming together amid some of this damage that you're dealing with? And I'm sure the damage isn't even fully assessed, given you're still in the thick of this.
Yeah, we call ourselves the Diamond of Delaware County, and we really are we have a small town feel. We have a very tight-knit community. The people have really come together, but when you're talking about infrastructure, a perfect example is our wastewater plant. We had to abandon it today. Our staff were there dealing with critical infrastructure, turning things off, making sure that we were getting things to the high ground, and it got to the point that we had to pull staff out of our wastewater plant because it's no longer accessible.
Wow, that's just absolutely scary. People around the country watching this, what do you want them to know, especially those who are potentially going to be dealing with more rain? It's everywhere from Iowa to northern Illinois, I believe, that's going to be hit with another round of rain, likely some of this kind of flooding.
Yeah, our concern isn't over. We're going to have a tremendous amount of rain tonight. We're prepared for that. We have started to stagger shifts so that we have 24-hour public works staff on hand to be able